Time for divine shot, KJ events. This real talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Knicks shit, dripping in Knicks shit. Up in the world, most famous arena. With the click, that's a conglomerate. The Knicks real talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variants of dominant. Paying homage to the cats in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, we straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, with the side. My entourage be on the job, my energy. Feeling tripping in 10 books. As they cook my game plan, and my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the Knicks ain't always pretty, but we all stay giddy. And we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We trace the logo when there's space that appear like Squarespace. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. There's any Jacksons on the court, looking pretty legit. I stay true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew, so here's a few bars to shine like stars divine to Mount Mars. Knicks real talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks real talk.
right here.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Knicks real talk.
We here.
Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Yo, salute everybody. What's going on? Salute. What's good? Knicks Real Talk, episode 8, Divine, Shy Powers, the chat, everybody in the building, man. We about to get it popping. Talk about the Summer League recap last night. Obviously, Evan Fournier noise out there. And I also want to talk about the wing position for the Knicks on the defense side of the ball. I think we got a pretty good, interesting thing brewing, Shy Powers, out there with the way we got these wings set up, even though they're a little short in stature. But I still think their skill set is pretty awesome. But we're going to get into that as well. But let me bring my partner in crime in the building. Shy Powers, what's popping?
Salute to you, Divine. Salute to the chat. Let's get it. We had a super chat, Divine.
Yeah. Johnny Davis, my man. We appreciate you, JD. Thank you for the super chat, my brother. We really appreciate you. You know how we do. Salute to everybody in the chat. That's where it's at. JJ, Nixon Knights, Pud, what's good? CAA affiliate, Darren Wayne, Johnny Davis. Again, salute. Thank you for that. Nick, 1 day, 2 day. Everybody, man. Summer League game last night. I know not everybody's not hyped about it, Shy Power too much but I'm always looking to see what these cats gonna do in Summer League to see if they're gonna be able to make it up to the main roster or they're gonna go down to the G League, whatever the case may be. But right now, from what I seen last night, like Jalen Martin trying to make a name for himself. He really is. Charlie Brown Jr. played well. He shot. That's crazy. Fabian, what's good? I mean to break my conversation, but let me shout my man Fabian out. Fabian, long time, my man. Good to see you. Real talk. That means I know you live and well, man, because you were here with us, man. Appreciate you. But like I said, man, Shy Powers, that cat Charlie Brown was doing his thing. I know I'm in a minority, Shy Powers. I still think Isaiah Roby could bring something to the table. And it's his first 3 games. I want to see how it goes when he get into training camp, because I really do like some of the stuff that he do. He didn't have a good shooting performance last night, but he's still rebounding well. He's doing other things, man. I just like his side, and I think he got a good shot, though. He didn't hit him last night, but the other night, the prior game to that, he did knock down a couple of threes. But it looked like he got a good stroke with him. I'm hoping that he can just get it together. Been on a hiatus for a while, Shy Power, because he was injured with an ankle injury. So he's been on a hiatus for a while. But let's see if this cat can get it going, man. I hope this cat really get a pocket. I like Isaiah Roby, and I think he can bring something to the Knicks once he get into good rhythm.
Yeah, Roby will probably need a little bit of more work and stuff like that. Wasn't so exciting last game last night, but he is our option at an additional power forward. I like last night, who I think really is going to probably make the team or make the 2-way or whatever it is. I think Daquan Jeffries. I think he's definitely going to do it, and I like Charlie Brown, man. He's really playing some basketball. And also the guy that you mentioned, I just forgot his name. So the 19-year-old dude that was in there.
Oh,
what's
Brown.
His name?
Brown?
Yeah, oh no, not Charlie Brown. The other one. Man, what's his number? 21. What was his number? I can't remember his name right now. I'll get back to it. But he played pretty well last night as well. So there's some guys that got some promising. The real young dude from, let me look his name up. He played really well yesterday, man. So some guys that got some, that got Jalen Brown. Thank you. Jalen Martin. Thank you, Coach. Yeah, Jalen Martin. I knew it was Jalen something. Yeah, he really played some really good basketball. he drives to the hole pretty well. He has a pretty okay jump shot. Very versatile. I think he's around 6'5", 6'6". He's young, so he has some time to really marinate and get a little better with the league and stuff like that. So I think he was with the OTE, overtime something or something like that. I think he was with one of those leagues or something like that. Yeah. So I like the way he played, and I think this guy, they have to sign this guy to a contract. Charlie Brown really played well, but I think that Daquan, they got to do something with Daquan, man. He's a guy that you got to put on the bench. Real rugged, real tough, gritty, can shoot the shot, play some defense. So I think he's one of the guys that I'm looking forward to seeing a part of the Knicks this season. Probably, I still want to give him some time. He got some time to try to, still get himself together. Maybe when he gets with the regular team, maybe he can get a little bit more work in and stuff like that. But for now, Martin and Charlie Brown, and Daquan Jeffries, if those are three guys that are going to have those two-way contracts, I think that may be the way. Isn't Robley already signed for like a year?
Non-guaranteed.
Or non-guaranteed. Okay, so he better pray that they like him that much, because Charlie Brown, Martin, and Daquan, I think those. I even think Kills is on his last leg right now. I haven't seen any improvement in Kills. He played a little better yesterday, but nothing jumps out the box. Nothing that really, he played in the G League last year. I thought he would at least come into the summer league and at least having playing with the G League, I thought he would play a little bit better, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but he didn't look all that excited.
Yeah, he hasn't really kicked off yet in summer league, and it is summer league. I mean, not playing organized basketball for after the season was over, but the season wasn't been that long. But a lot of these guys, they don't do well, but they wind up doing better at another stage. But for me, none of these guys are going to be on the Knicks roster. I don't think, other than I can see is Isaiah Roby and maybe Jalen Martin. I don't even think Martin's going to be on there because with the depth that we got at that position. We are literally loaded at the guard spot in
the 6'5" guy. We are loaded 6'4" to 6'6".
Unless somebody get moved in the trade shop hours, Jalen Martin. But I like to see him start down there in the G League. But I tell you what, though, he's gonna be a real deal. He's gonna be the real deal for the Knicks. Because like I said, I like what he do with the ball. That even with right now, somebody like McBride don't do. The cat go to the bucket, man. He gets to the bucket. He gets to the rack. I think that's so impressive. So I could see the Knicks, really saying, you know what. This cat going to be here eventually. I know he will, because I just think that his skill set, Charlie Ward in the building with him, man, mentor, once a Knick, always a Knick. When you learn from a guy like Charlie Ward, you playing that type of basketball that you play in New York, hard nosed, gritty defense, all you just grit. And I like that for Martin, man. He's proven himself that he's going to be here. So we got guys, like I said, you might get 40 out of there. And like you said, but I think even if you sign quickly, and I'm not saying that because of him, I'm just saying we're not going to be able to keep all these guys. I just know that. I just don't think you're going to. I think DiVincenzo will sign here for this reason, because I think we're going to lose a Grimes. Or quickly, somebody going to get lost, because number one, they all got extensions coming up. You know what I mean? And my man McBride got extension coming up. You know what I mean, next year, whatever. So, the Knicks gonna be able to sign all these cats, and that's why guys like Jalen Martin coming at. You know what I mean? Now you can get him on that cheap rookie $1 million, $2 million deal for 4 years, let him prove himself just like the way they did it. And then I do think that I agree with you, Knicks tonight, 100%, $2 million for him. So you're gonna have to really think about these cats long term. And I think he's gonna be here. Charlie Brown Jr. interesting. I hope he make the team. Just from the way he played basketball, at least make the G League team anyway. Be in the Knicks organization. Let me put it that way. A lot of these guys in there is not going to be on that main roster. We got too deep. We can play up type of team. We probably going to go out there, sign somebody or trade for somebody that's going to help you get us to another level. So you're not going to see these guys on the main roster. I think right now, just only reason we bring up Isaiah Roby because we are looking for a backup power forward, which is not a big deal because I think between Josh Hart and RJ Barrett, you still got you got the four covered. So shop out. So I don't see a lot of these guys even participating on the main roster. But I do like the Isaiah Roby guy. I know he hasn't been playing well the past game, but you also look at the things they do outside of scoring. That's why I like him. He got skills. He can shoot the ball from deep. He puts the ball on the floor, goes to the paint, shot powers. He plays physical. And I think coming off an ankle injury, like I said earlier, I just want to see this cat get the summer league, man, and say, okay, now, just show and prove. And you don't need 12, 15 minutes a game, like I said before, because Randall going to take the bulk of the minutes. So we're not asking him to come out there and be Obi Toppin. We're not looking for him to be Obi Toppin. We're looking for him to say, you know what? Obi Toppin was too good to get 15 minutes. Maybe this cat is just enough to get 15 minutes. You know what I mean, or whatever. So I think to me, that's why I like Isaiah Roby because he gonna be that guy who it ain't gonna be no conflict because he's not playing tonight or he didn't get that many minutes tonight opposed to Obi Toppin. But Jeffries, like you said, he was on the team already. But Shop how he been around 4 years, man. 4 years G League. He also played I forgot what organization he was playing with for. I want to think with Denver. I might be wrong. Denver, somebody. He played in that system. So he's been around for a minute. You know what I mean? Let's see what they're gonna do with him. But he's definitely been getting in the summer league. But you expect that. All these 4-year guys, they better cook these 4 years ago. They played summer league, and some of these guys 4 years ago probably was 15 years old. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So some of these guys they playing against 4 years ago, they was like 16 years old, 16, 17. So you expect him to go out there and dominate. And like other guys on other teams in the NBA, like they dominating like the Dukes of the world, the David Dukes of the Nets, and all these guys they've been around so long, and so they should be cooking these guys. But I know from one thing, I want to see Isaiah Roby keep shining. I think this cat got something to get to the Knicks for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Knicks gonna have some hard decisions because it's if I'm not mistaken, this year they could carry 3 two-way players, and they got four or five guys that they got a choice from. You know what I mean? The Kills, the Martins, the CB, who else I'm missing? Kills, Martin, Daquan. It's about 4 of them. I can't get them all down right now, but it's about 4 of them, and they only got 3 spots to fill. So it's going to be some you got to see who they're going to put in there. Martin, I'm not as opposed to. Charlie Brown, I'm not opposed to. I got it now. Charlie Brown and Daquan is already down, so he's already on the roster, right?
Yeah.
Not guaranteed. You said, right?
No, his Roby's is not guaranteed. I think his is though. Let me.
Oh, okay then. All right, so he's not a worry then. So then those other 4 guys really have to. They're gonna have to pick 3 out of those 4 guys. Are they gonna pick the 3 small forwardish type guys, 6'4" to 6'6", or are they gonna keep Roby just in case? Who knows what's gonna happen. But like I said, those 3 guys that I mentioned, especially Martin, after he had a very, very good game yesterday, man. Hitting the big shot and in the overtime and stuff like that. It makes a difference. I mean, he wants to play some basketball, and even since the first game that he played, he drives to the hole, and he wants to score the basket. So I'm happy to see what the Knicks are going to do, what choices they're going to make. With putting these guys to the second to the 2-way contracts.
Yeah, that's a good Kevin Middleton. That's real talk there. Hey, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you, I also want to throw the guy out there who I think got to get credit in some league playing pretty well as well. Is my man, what's his name? The Demantro, whatever, from Ukraine. The center. The cat, he got some good skills in the offense side of the ball down there in the paint. He gritty, he go hard. He been in the G League also. But it's good to see guys like that down there, man. They come in here playing some decent ball. But like I said, he's 7 foot, but he ain't scared though. I like his activity. So I think the G League got a pretty good prospect with my man, the Montreal Scapative, I guess. Part of my language for messing it up. Yeah, I agree with you. He got to get out there. And like I said, I'm not making an excuse for Isaiah Roby, but like I said, not having played basketball in a while since he had that foot since February. That's why I'm giving him the training camp, because, like I said, I can understand where you're coming from with the foot injury. You haven't played in 5 months. You can get rusty, but that's no excuse for him. But that is reality. You know what I mean? The cat haven't played basketball because he was out for 5-6 months. That was at February. I think at the time of February, something like that. So he really haven't been able to get out there. But he got some attributes that I like about him. That's why I'm intrigued by Isaiah Roby, because he got certain attributes that he might not be high quality at it, but he has them, and that's why I want to see him elevate him a little more, and maybe that turn around sooner or later. He does.
Yeah,
he got some offense. Go ahead, Shop House. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He definitely. I just for the fact of he's a big guy and he can shoot the 3-point shot, and we really don't necessarily have a backup, a true backup aside from RJ. If you want to swing there or go with Josh Hart, I would probably put him on the roster. I don't think he would go to the G League. He's already played in the NBA already, but I guess I don't even know. And you say he's on a contract that's not. He may not even get back to that second unit, so he might be gone too. Who knows? Let's see what happens, man. This off season with the Knicks and the plays in the summer league, I really didn't do too much homework, so I don't know how things really work about with guys that have contracts, the expiring contracts. I know that it's three. We get three two-way players, and we really didn't have no picks really in the summer league this year. So all these guys are guys that we picked up on the end to play in the game to see if we could give them a contract with the G League team. So they fight it out. They'll figure it out. I'm not super duper worried about them, but I do like a couple of the guys. So like I said, Martin and Charlie Brown, I really like those two guys, man. I think Daquan already got a contract, so he's here. So I guess if anything, maybe it's up to Robley and Kills. And if that's my choice, I'm rolling all the way with Robley all the way.
Yeah, me as well, man. I think that cat he's gonna make it happen. I think he's gonna shoot some. But real quick, just to put you in a state of mind where Isaiah Roby, that's them as you see, ladies and gentlemen, in the lighter area, the lighter number, that the non-guaranteed, that's pretty much non-guaranteed money. I don't think Daquan Jeffries, Roby, and Jericho Sims, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like that's non-guaranteed money there. But like Coach said, it also could move and trade. So that's an interesting dynamic to me. To be honest with you, that I brought that up because we lose sight of Jericho Sims. We really don't talk about Jericho Sims a lot, and what's going to happen with him coming off the shoulder injury. Now he's going to be in there ready to get it going again this year. Does he be able to move into the backup power forward spot? Because he got certain type of skill. He might not be a great shooter, but he definitely can hit the glass. He can put the ball on the floor. He's a little raw, but I think he's been around long enough to kind of go into another year and let his game maturate for him to see that. But you got to think about him. He's non-guaranteed at 1.92. So what's going to happen with that? So we got to see what these guys are going to be at, man. But like I said, I think a lot of these guys in the G League, I think they pretty much, to me, I think a lot of them guys, to me, is just summer league. Training camp invites. Usually what the Knicks do when they bring a lot of these cats into summer league, a lot of them cats, they sign them into that training camp invite. To be able to let the big team get the practice in and do the things like that. So that's going to be an interesting thing with these young guys. I think they're just going to be there for that. But like I said, Jericho Sims, that's an interesting story. You don't hear too much about Jericho Sims, but he's on the Knicks. Obviously he got it, like I said earlier, with the shoulder injury. But where is he gonna fall into with this thing? I heard Boston liked him. I heard some. This was like maybe 2 months ago. I was reading some. Not saying it's true, but I did hear it. One of these channels out here or at blogs free or whatever. They said Boston wanted Jericho Sims, so. He got scapped over Jericho, and I can see that from an offense standpoint. So that's what I mean. What we're gonna do with some of these? We got a lot of young players out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot to do right now. I'm just the way I'm looking at things, man. The Knicks are slow rolling it. They talking to a lot of teams and stuff like that. But I will get into that after we talk about Fournier, because Fournier is a big part of what I'm about to bring up.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that, man. As y'all know, Knicks looking to move Evan Fournier, find a new home for him. Evan Fournier signed with the Knicks a couple of years ago. Had a good 3-point shooting year that first year, but that second year, obviously, because we were looking to do a little bit different and go defensively, get back to what Tom Thibodeau do. Evan Fournier was him and Derrick Rose were one of the two guys that just didn't get in the rotation. Solid shooter when he's playing minutes. Been around for a while, 30 years old. Like I said, he got an $18 million deal, I think right now, $18.587 million deal on this year. Then he got aspiring the year after that. So I don't think he's going to be a part of this thing, man, moving forward. So I think the Knicks trying to find a home for him, whether it be via just a trade with somebody or put him in a bigger deal for a bigger package. But I do know that I think his writing is on the wall. Shaw Powers, professional, been around for a minute. Orlando, start out there, Denver, in the beginning years. So, but his most of his time in the NBA was with the Orlando Magic, with him Vucevic and Aaron Gordon, the cats were down there, and Terrence Rawson trying to get it popping. But then, like I said, the Knicks signed him coming from Boston after he got traded to Boston. Then we signed him, with a player exception and all that stuff. But I think it's time for him to move on. Let him go out there and see if he can still contribute and help a team win. Been a good soldier for the Knicks, man, especially from a professional standpoint. Sat on that bench last year and did not pout after that 10-13 start, knowing that we need to change something up. He was an odd man out. Shaw Powell and Quentin Grimes was ready to take his step. So he just was the odd man out. But, he represented this well, but he's not what we need, though. I know a year prior, like a year ago, everybody was like, man, Evan Fournier, I'm telling y'all, man, Evan Fournier about to get a job took and it came to fruition. Thank you, Devon Stradamus. It is right. The right was on the wall. Young player, not a tips type of player. That signing Evan Fournier had nothing to do with Tom Thibodeau. I'll tell you that right now. So that guy had been Scott Perry or somebody up there in the front office. Him and Kemba Walker was not a Tom Thibodeau signing. So, and it showed because that year we didn't go to the playoff because they didn't have what it takes to play in the system. So now he goes. Shop out. What do you think, man? You think we're going to get him in a big team trade, or we're just going to trade him straight up for somebody?
All right. I think the Knicks are really searching around to touch base with a lot of teams. So for speculated out there, and I think he is one of the fillers. I don't think they want to let him go just for a one-on-one trade. There's a couple of names out there for the one-on-one trades, like your boy Bondon and also the guy at San Antonio, McBuckets. One-on-one trade, expiring contracts, blah, 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 and all that stuff with some of those players. But I think Evan is a keeper until maybe late August. When the Knicks, when it's getting closer to training camp days and teams are really trying to formulate their teams and stuff like that, August, September, I think he's going to be one of those guys that if we do go for a big player, a star-like player, I believe that Evan will be here to facilitate for that trade.
Yeah, I agree. I think Nick definitely looking to move him in a package for sure. And he that $18 million, somebody gonna want that. Somebody gonna that. Absolutely. So you throw another player here or there, you'd be surprised what you can get in a couple of picks. So I think that's how the Knicks would move into it. Because I do think we need to size up a little bit at that 4 spot. Like I said, because what we have there after Hartenstein and Randall, anybody coming there is pretty much babies. You know what I mean? Except for Josh Hart. If you want to move him there, but Josh Hart, he can play the small ball 4, but he's not truly I would love to see the Knicks go out there. I still think Kelly Oubre and guys like that is out there, and just especially if they don't get, if nothing happened with them before the season kick in, and they're willing to take a show and prove 1-year deal. Then if you could have somebody sign and trade with one of them guys, I don't know, whatever the case would be to get Fournier. or you like you said, like you and Coach said, you move him in a bigger deal, which I think would be the case. He would be getting moved in a big deal, and so I don't think the all season is over by any means when it comes to improving his team. I like the way they're doing it methodically, real slowly, quietly, not trying to rush anything, making sure because we don't have the salary cap right now to do anything. So I think a guy like Evan Fournier, it'd be a really good asset for somebody from a perspective of, you could let this hypothetically, you send him out there to one of them teams like Giannis and them, or somebody who need a 3-point shooter. We do got to remember the year before this year, he shot 200 something 3-pointers. You know what I mean? So it ain't like the cat ain't got no game, and he only 30 years old. He's not 37. He's not 33. He's 30. He just, I just think that he got, he just couldn't get in where he fit in with the Knicks this year, with the way we was trying to play basketball. And he had an opportunity, but after 26 games, Tibbs had to pull the plug. He's like, I'm 10-13. I'm about to lose my job. You know what I mean? What do you want me to do? So, and that's where it goes. But Evan Fournier lands somewhere, man. Let's hope that the Knicks get a good return for him. And if they do get a good return for him, hopefully that make this team much better. And that'll be that, because a lot of stuff that I'm hearing out there, like I don't think that Anunoby is going nowhere, even though the Knicks wanted him. It seems like Toronto not going to do that. They think that they're not ready to get rid of him, because I think with Pascal Siakam's name floating out there like crazy, they probably like, if I get rid of Siakam, I'm not getting rid of Anunoby, because I still got Gary Trent down here. I still got Scotty, what's his name? Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
Jacob Poeltl. They signed Jacob Poeltl again. So they still looking to be in the playoff hunt. But that's why I don't think they're going to move Anunoby. If they move Siakam, I definitely know they're not moving him. So guys like that you would want to send Evan Fournier to Toronto, that probably won't come to fruition, because just due to the fact I don't think they're going to do that. So we had to see how it goes, man. Like Knicks Nice said, San Antonio. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? French speaking, him and Wembanyama, they get along real well. That's a good mentor for him. So that's a good move for him too. Like you said, you bring back McBuckets. That's not a bad move. But at that, Evan Fournier, I don't see him going into the season with him. It would be weird, Shaw Powers, and I use that word weird because I think it'd be weird for them cats to go in there into the season knowing that this cat is on the roster. Not because the Knicks are trying to do him wrong, because the Knicks probably trying to say the best they can do is wait till the trading deadline. But I think out of respect, they probably want to give Fournier a chance to go in there and play for another team. So we'll see, man. But I think he'd be on the move, man. Think he'd be looking for a new home, Shop House, within the next months or so. Let's per se.
Yeah, I'm whatever move that they make, I'm down with this front office. I know they're making they're diligent about what they're doing. They're being patient. They're not just jumping straight out the window like prior regimes have done. They're being methodical about it. And as you heard, they are out there touching on the Levines, the OGs, the Pauls, it's a couple of names that are swinging around out there that they're trying to move for. And everybody, Leon is drawing a line. He's not overpaying for anybody, especially out of this this trading group that's out right now. He's not overpaying for anybody because he has a big picture, And I think, I would like Levine here. And I really would. But I seen a little skit of Levine talking to some podcast about the Knicks, and when he asked them about when are you going to leave and go to the Knicks, he said, "I don't know. You better ask Donovan about it," or something to that.
Right.
To that. So I don't know if he's coming here anymore. So the next step, the next person that I could think that the next one on my line was OG. That was the second one. And now the rumors about, like you said, about Siakam maybe moving. They may want to hold fast to this guy. He fits on any team. OG, you can put OG on any team in the NBA and he fits. Can hit the 3-pointer, 38% from the left side. I think about the same from the right side. Can drive the ball a little bit, but is a defensive stopper, and he can play 2, 3, or 4. You know, he could play all those positions. So, you know, a guy that I was looking, if it was an even trade, but it doesn't look like it's going to be anything easy with Jury. So the next one on my list was Paul George, and it really is heating up with Paul George, and it is possible that we can add Evan Fournier in the contract. You know, we would have to give up 2 of our younger guys though, and to fit the bill, it would probably be R.J. Barrett and probably Grimes or probably IQ. And all you have to make the decision, Knicks fans, because one of those guys will probably have to move in that trade to get up PG-13. And me, I would like to keep Grimes and for another year on that smaller contract and move on from IQ. Not because I want to, because I really want to keep IQ, but I think if we're talking the Lakers, I mean, if we're talking the Clippers, I think they would take either or the defensive stopper that can become a great shooter, which is Grimes, and someone that can really hold down a offense and a defense on being a guard in IQ. So if you throw one of those guys in there with RJ and Evan Fournier to fill the contract, I think we can move and get PG. Only thing PG got to remember, he's CAA. They're gonna take care of you, but we ain't trying to extend you with no $40-something million. We might can get to 20. You know how the Knicks do? They front load you heavy. They'll sign the extender for 3 years, but his first year be 38-40 million, and then every year after that it'll go down. You know, I believe that's what they'll do. They've been doing it with majority of the roster that we got right now. So I wouldn't put it past them to upload him first, give him that big money that he think he wants, and then decrease the money, you know, gradually over the next couple of years after these next 2 years. So let's see what happens. I think that's the move that they're going to make. And Evan Fournier is in that move.
Yeah, he definitely in there. I just want to piggyback on something Shaw said earlier. I said, Leon Rose may wear a fleece, but he ain't getting fleece.
Right.
Wear a fleece, but he ain't getting fleece. Let's let you put that out there. But you know what? For me, Kevin Milton, I'm surprised too. I don't know if that part because they signed Dennis Schroeder. Like you said, I'm surprised Toronto wouldn't take quickly neither. I ain't say they wouldn't take him, but I think maybe because they gave Dennis Schroeder $13 million a year for the next couple of years, that's why they probably won't do it. That's the only reason I see they won't do it, because they signed Dennis Schroeder. And you know what? For me, you know, I think when it comes to the LA Clippers and Paul George, here's why I think they would take Grimes over quickly. Quickly's about to get extended. Grimes extended. So that might be if they do anything, they say I take Fournier, RJ, and Grimes, just due to the fact Grimes got another 2 years left. And I don't think he's going to command what Quickly is commanding. He haven't shown improved yet. To get the money Quickly's going to get. Quentin Grimes ain't shown improved that yet. I think he will eventually get there. But Quickly showed improved that I was 6th man of the year candidate. I'm gonna get my money. You know what I mean? Because he's worth it. So what I think the Knicks should do, and here's why I think the Knicks should do: the Knicks should sign Quickly, sign him, and if it don't, I mean, hypothetically, what I'm saying, because it's easier to sign him for a certain amount of money, and then you wind up going in there and costing you more. But then at the same time, if you sign him for 18, 20 million, whatever, it's a tradable contract. If you decide down the line that's what you want to do, a lot of teams will take Emmanuel Quickly because I think he's worth his money. But I do think that I hope we stand packed with all of them. I don't want to see the Knicks move anybody. I just want to see us go out there and get some. I don't want to see none of these cats we got on this team move, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. These cats made it to the second round of the playoff with the same roster. They might got to get better. These cats got to come back this year and be better at what they do. But I don't want to move none of the, we got one of the youngest teams in the NBA, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. It may seem crazy, but we do. You know what I mean? You take Julius Randle now that you got Evan Fournier's age out of there sooner or later, you got Derrick Rose's age out of there sooner or later. And once you move Evan Fournier, everybody in that roster probably 28 and younger or something of that nature, shot power. So
Randle is the oldest. He's 28.
28.
I mean, I think to be 28-ish. So, and everybody else is like 27 and down. know, 20. I don't think what you call it is 27, I think, and J Hart is 27. I Hart is like 24, 25. Mitchell Robinson 24, 25. All them guys is about 20, 23 to 25. You know what I mean? I think the oldest one in that bunch is J Hart. I think he's like 27-ish. I mean, and then Randall. So Randall would be the quote unquote vet on the team, or the oldest player on the team, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
With that move too, Devon, let me just say this real quick. With that move too, if we were to move Grimes in that move, which would probably be the better option because of, you know, if we really trying to get Paul George, because IQ could come and start in the second, he could be a starter now. We solve all our problems right now. We make IQ a starter next to Brunson. He's a defensive guy. He's a little short in stature, but he's got heart. You know how he plays. He could come in there and be the starter. And J Hard and the Big Ragu can be in the second unit. I mean, then we would probably have to look to maybe snatch somebody, you know, after we get off of Evan Fournier, and maybe we can make a scrappy deal and get another cheap player, or maybe we bring Roby up. Maybe not. Maybe now we will bring Roby up and keep him there because we need some help in the second unit. So I mean, or we could use Sims. But if you're really thinking about IQ being a starter, perfect way again IQ is starter is trading RJ Barrett and Grimes with Evan Fournier, bringing in Paul George and bring IQ to that starting unit.
I tell you what, that's a nice starting unit right there.
Yeah, it is.
Now Quickly's length to help cover Brunson. Quickly, Paul George, Brunson, Quickly, Paul George, Randall, and Mitchell Robinson. If that's what the Knicks are trying to do, that's not a bad move. If that's what the Knicks are trying to do, it won't have nothing to do with us, ladies and gentlemen. We all talking about the Knicks' scenario, because we always got to remember, whether it's wrong or right, the Knicks are the ones who trying to make these moves. They are quiet about Paul George, whether you agree or disagree with their decision. The Knicks are in playoff championship trying to get to mode. They're going to do something to bring somebody in here to help them get over the hump. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just the way it's going to be. Whether we agree to disagree, that's what they're going to do. The Knicks are right now, they are in prime position to say Jalen Brunson, Randall 25 and 10, RJ, you know, like I said, you could bring this roster back and they still in championship mode. Knicks are just like one player away from really, really doing some damage. Believe it or not, because that's only saying if let's say Quickly come back better than he was last year. Let's say Grimes come back better than he was last year. You know what I mean? You brought in a player like DiVincenzo, you got Josh Hart, you know, and you got Quickly and Grimes. That's why I called it the wing stop. You got four dudes who literally can guard NBA players in the second unit. You talking about Hart, DiVincenzo, Quickly. Them cats is in your second unit. I mean, that's literally some good defense right there. Then, you know, so if you go get a guy to fill that fourth spot, and then you got Hartenstein, it all depends who they put in that fourth spot. I mean, I like JaMychal Green. I mean, you can go get a JaMychal Green, guys like that. A veteran with a little bit of experience to help his team. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you are not going the other way. I just don't think that. I don't think so, man. I think we're going to be in it to win it. But whatever way the Knicks go, I'm good either way, man. But I do think these cats is really trying to win something, ladies and gentlemen. I think the Knicks are going to say, listen, I think they wait for Joel Embiid. That's my personal.
I think so too, Divine. I think that's the next step after getting Paul George. See I'm sorry, Divine, but the way this thing been formulating, I really see that they may want to keep Grimes and sign IQ and wait for next year and play with this team that they got. You know what I mean? Play this team out, because with percentage-wise, we have a better team because of, and I hate to say it like this, but if with DiVincenzo being a three-point shooting threat, I mean, I don't want to say a threat, but it can hit the three-point shot, he elevates the second unit. And this team is not going to lose much, and the second unit is going to be a little bit more versatile with J Hart and IQ, J Hart and DiVincenzo in there with I Hart. iHeart is really going to step up, I believe, in the second unit playmaking now with these guys that keep moving and cutting and moving. iHeart's going to get to utilize his skills that he has that we really haven't seen when he played in the other teams, playing that high pick and roll with the guys, backdoor passes, alley-oops and stuff like that. So, and I think they signed IQ for the next trade next year. You know what I mean? If they keep him, or it's a way that you can get George here and get Embiid next year. You know what I mean? Depending on how you make the moves, and see what happens. The one way they could run it back right this year and keep everybody. Sign IQ in the beginning of the year and trade him off next year for it would be IQ. You sign IQ for $20 million. You put Mitchell Robinson $15 million in the deal. You got $35 million right
there. Hector. We don't want. I'm not saying we want to. We are saying what the Knicks are gonna do. I bring up Paul George because Paul George's name is out there, whether we like it or not. The New York Knicks have acquired about Paul George, not Divine and Shaw Powers.
Yeah, acquired hard about him too.
Right.
The only reason why the move wasn't made because of the extension. Let that be clear too. That extension that he asked for, they was like, hold up, Paul George. All right, we get back to you. Remember you CAA, right? All right, we'll get back to you. You same thing. Let's see if this trade is made with this guy from Philadelphia and he goes out there to the Clippers, and then you see what you want to do.
Yeah. Real talk, man. Like I said, when we on a pod, we try to think about what the Knicks are thinking. Me and Shaw Powell always say, what are the Knicks thinking they want to do? So when I bring up a name, it's because the Knicks has said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah, it's out there. It's just out there, whether it's on any blog or any station or any channel. That's what the Knicks are thinking, not what we are thinking. So we trying to kind of just say, well, the Knicks said they acquired about Paul George, so we want to talk about Paul George because the Knicks did acquire about him, just like the Knicks acquired about Anunoby, just like the Knicks acquired about a lot of players. So that gotta let you guys know where the Knicks is headed. So it's not about we think the Knicks should do this. No, this is what they talk about. The Knicks is talk about trading these guys. The Knicks traded Obi Toppin. We didn't want to trade it. The Knicks traded them. So I say all that to say, what? It is what it is, man. We try to be informed with the stuff that's going on out there in the real world with the real Knicks, real talk. And I think so. We got to say, if the Knicks do trade for Paul George, what is that going to do for the Knicks? Do that make them a better team? And have they did all the I's and T's, dotting and crossing, and did they do diligence? Do they say if we can get 65 games out of Paul George, as long as he's there for the playoffs? And because remember, guys, 2 years from now, Paul George's money will be gone. Now you got your money back. Right. So do you take a chance on a guy like Paul George because of Jalen Brunson and Randall's window? Because of Jalen Brunson window, let me tell y'all something. Them cats is not going nowhere. Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson is here with the Knicks. They're going to stay with the Knicks. So you got to go out there and say, listen, we ain't won a championship in 50 years. The Knicks might feel like we got an opportunity. Think about what they did last year. Almost got to the Eastern Conference Finals with that team. So now they looking at now like, you know what? If we can get somebody to help Jalen Brunson, that no matter what happened with everybody else on that team, we got a guy who can come in here and do what Jalen Brunson do. Even in the playoffs, they might say that's what we're gonna do because they think they could. Let's look what him and Luka Doncic did. You know what I'm saying? Shop Powers, him and Luka and his cast of people around them got them to the Western Conference Finals. So that's what the Knicks is thinking about. They think about, this might be our window of opportunity. You got to strike while the iron is hot because once that iron cool off, that everything gonna be wrinkled. You know what I mean? So I just think that's what the Knicks is doing. I don't think that nothing other than that. So I think the Fournier contract. We'll go in and deal with somebody to bring another player in here to fit Jalen Brunson and Randall's window. Because 2 years from now, when Jalen Brunson's contract is up, Shop Hours, that $25 million turns into $50 million or $45 million. You know what I mean? So they better to go ahead and get some good superstar players to help them try to get there while Jalen Brunson's on that $25 million deal with him and Randall. Because I know what you said, today's price ain't yesterday's price ain't today's price.
Sure ain't.
So listen, that's gonna go up. I think they probably really got an eye on they got an eye on what's going on in Philly. To me, I think the Knicks is just strategically waiting to see what's going to happen with Jordan. Because if you move James Harden, why would Embiid want to stay in Philly if you just move to James Harden? Him and Tyrese Maxey ain't getting you nowhere. So I think that's what the Knicks is probably doing, and we gotta watch it. You know what I mean? We got to see what's developing out there. I'm quite sure they've been acquired about Zion Williamson. The Knicks doing their due diligence, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks know they know how close they are, but we still got a young team too. And I'm really heavy about that. I don't think we got to trade these guys. I hope we run it back this year. If nothing else, you don't bring in nobody but get a backup power forward. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, Shop Out. That's pretty much what it boiled down to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right off of what you said about the 65 games of Paul George. If you had a choice of RJ Barrett having 73 games next year, or a choice of Paul George having 65 games, and with RJ we win 52 games, and with Paul George we win 49 games, but we have both of those guys in the playoffs are healthy, who do you pick? Who do you pick? You know what I mean? Paul George may play less games than what RJ may play, but in the playoffs, that's a total different animal right there. You get a healthy Paul George in the playoffs where he can switch off and play the 3 or the 4 at some point in time. Could you imagine Paul George running in the second unit with J Hard, Ahard, and Hartenstein? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Could you imagine DiVincenzo, J Hard, and PG and Ahard in your second unit, for a couple of minutes to rest of the starters get back into the unit. You know what I mean? That's something to think about. You know what I mean? It's really something to think about. The biggest thing about Paul George is can he get healthy? You know what I mean? Can he get you 60-something games to help you win a couple of those games? Can you imagine Paul George first game in the Garden, opening night in Madison Square Garden, and your small forward, I forgot where he comes from, CAA, Paul George. The electricity in the Garden, we may not want the trade, some of us. Some may think the trade is not worth it, but that first game in Madison Square Garden, he comes out and he scored 43 points. You may never think about the trade that was ever made. The only thing he was about is about what Paul George is going to do with the Knicks. I have like I said, I like Levine. OG is one of my choices too. If they can wait around and Harden moves from Philly and B's talking about he's not playing for Philly, he wants to get traded to the Knicks. We got players that we can trade for and still make a team to be ready to play basketball this season. Now we still have enough players that we can trade, get Embiid, and still have a good roster going into the season of 23-24.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, something that's really interesting. I need y'all to hear me out on this here. It's not like we giving Paul George $46 million. You know what I mean? Because 40 to 45 million. Because listen, RJ Barrett making $23 million this year. Evan Fournier making $18 million. So for the next 2 years, even though Evan Fournier got expiring, you still not paying Paul George, because if you would have kept Evan Fournier and RJ Barrett, so what it is, his contract is kind of irrelevant, because $18 million of that you're not even.
It means the money. It means the money.
Yeah, $18 million of his contract, you're not even playing at Evan Fournier. You're not even playing Evan Fournier. So that's $18 million on his contract that you would be using to play. And for RJ Barrett, I'm not demanding trade of RJ Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's out there in the trade for Paul George, not Devon. So RJ Barrett, $23 million. Fournier, $18 million. That's 41, 42 million. Then you throw in another player. Do you think the Knicks is better with Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett than Paul George? That's what you got to look at. That's what the Knicks is saying. Is this team better with Paul George instead of R.J. Barrett and Evan Fournier. That's what I think they'll come down to, because like I said, you traded out money for money. So you might got it 46 million, but you gotta remember RJ got the longest contract on the Knicks, 107 million over years. His contract is more than Randall's and Jalen Brunson's now.
In the long term.
Yeah, 82 for Brunson, 76 for Randall, 107 for RJ, because this is set to just kicked in. So, and they call him playoff P for a reason. I think that's what the Knicks are looking at. I think the Knicks might say, you know what? Is this team better with Paul George than R.J. Barrett and Evan Fournier? That's what it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. That's all it comes down to. Are we willing to take 2 years of Paul George, or 2 years of Evan Fournier, or a year of Fournier and 2 years of R.J. Barrett, or 4 years, whatever the case may be? I think that's what they're just looking at. And I do think that at the end of that $48 million that's aspiring from Paul George, you give it to Jalen Brunson. See, that's the business side of it. That's why it makes so much sense, whether you disagree with the injuries and blah, blah, blah. But that Paul George aspiring contract will become Jalen Brunson's $48 million. That's all. So in a 2-year window, they're going to try to go for it. And then they say they take it from there, Shaw Powell. I think that's the only reason I see them going for him, is that reason. Listen, when Paul George is on, he's on. I mean, you can't dispute that. When he's healthy, he's playing. The cat can get down. He get buckets. His defense is top notch in the NBA for sure. So I do think that I don't have a problem with it. It was a 2-year deal, as long as we're not extending him. Because I do think him is better than R.J. Barrett and Fournier combined at this stage in the Knicks team. But if you look at the numbers right quick, ladies and gentlemen, he's been injured the last couple of years. But listen, before he went down 79 games, 80 games, 81 games, 75 games, 79 games, 77 games, until 2019. I guess when you hit that certain age, started going south. You know what I mean? But you can't dispute the number. Here's another thing: 37% from downtown, 41% from downtown, 41% from downtown, 38% from downtown, 40 from downtown, 39 from downtown, 37 from downtown, 40 points from downtown. That's the difference right there. RJ ain't shooting that number downtown like that. He ain't putting them numbers up yet. So I think that's what the Knicks is looking at. But then you go on the other side, Shy Powers, his defense numbers is crazy. I mean,
I got some stats for you, Divine. Right now, catch and shoot 3-pointers from R.J. Barrett to PG 13 to put Chris Paul. R.J. Barrett shoots 32 off a catch and shoot. PG shoots 38%. Pull-up 3-pointers. RJ is at 19% from pull-up 3-pointers. 19%. Paul George is 36% at pull-up 3-pointers. Less than 10 feet in the lane. RJ is 53%. Driving to the lane 10 feet away from the basket. Paul George is 62%. 62%. 10 feet away from the field goal. Deflections, RJ has none, 0.8. PG, 4th in the league last year, 3.5 on the less games that he had. Steals, RJ has no steals, 0.4% for RJ. PG had 1.5 steals a game last year. And I mean, it is a smaller case because PG didn't play as many games as RJ played. But those are the numbers that you get when PG is healthy on the court, and the numbers that we've been having from RJ Barrett. And I'm not disparaging from Barrett, because in the playoffs, Barrett stepped his game up from those are regular season numbers. In the playoffs, Barrett stepped his game up. So I want that to be known too. You know what I mean? PG from the line, 85%, 86%. RJ, 78% from the line, free throw shooting. So let that sink in a little bit.
Yeah.
Numbers don't lie, man. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, they don't, man. And I tell you, man, like I said, it's just not about, because RJ is not this, because RJ is going to be that dude eventually. And don't get me wrong, but I like the deal because it makes sense all the way around from this standpoint. the salary cap is situation. You can either sign Paul George for 2 years, Cat for 4 years, $200 million. You about to get a guy for about $100 million for 2 years, and then after that, you don't got to sign Paul George back. Paul, because he'd be 35, and if he want to take some type of deal, he want to go back home to LA where he's from. But in the meantime, can you imagine having Paul George D'ing up somebody like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, some of the better wings that's in the Eastern Conference, Jimmy Butler, or can you imagine having a cat like that who literally can knock down these jokers, man? Come on, for 2 years, and once that contract is up, it's over. That's probably the wise business move to make if you do go after Paul George. And the only reason I will do it because of Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle putting up numbers. We got Mitchell Robinson there, and Paul George defense. And if you still got Quentin Grimes, that's the best defense in the Eastern Conference.
I'm just saying
that in the Eastern Conference. Mitchell Robinson, Paul George, and Quentin Grimes, that is a wrap, bro. That's the best wing, but that's the best wing defense and the center defense to me in the East. Shot Powers. If you have them caps on the perimeter like that, you can't.
Yeah, I concur. And even if because it may need to sweeten the deal aside from the draft picks, because I would give them all for the protected draft picks, the Dallas picks, Milwaukee, all those picks. I would probably offer all of them to get them too. But if they even wanted Grimes or IQ, which that was one of the projected trades out there, and I'm telling you this. I mean, I'm not telling you this, but from what I've seen, the only reason why this deal didn't go down was because of the extension. Because Grimes was in the deal, RJ was in the deal, Evan Fournier was in the deal. They was ready to make the move, but Paul George started saying, "Listen, I need this extension. I need this 4-year extension." Talking about almost $200 million. They was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." Right. I mean, whoa, whoa, whoa. But they was in the deal. So, and even if we gave up Quentin Grimes, we can put IQ into that position, into that starting position, not losing much and if we keep Grimes and we trade RJ, now we got DiVincenzo, which I think this is one of the reasons why they got DiVincenzo here. I'm not saying it is, but you can have DiVincenzo and Deuce McBride with Jay Hart in the backcourt, you know what I mean? And still put PG in that second unit like they ran RJ and that second unit at the 4 with iHeart, So, it's a couple of ways that they could finagle this where, it's going to hurt a little bit, but in the long run, it may be a better. But the big thing is if he can stay healthy. That's another reason why, training these young guys that are predominantly healthy. IQ played 80 games, 81 games this year. RJ played about 70 games this year. Remember RJ was hurt this year too with that laceration on his finger. He was out for a couple of games, but if I don't remember exactly how many games. I think it was like 67. I think I remember what it was. But if you could get RJ, like I said, if you get RJ 72 games, or you could get PG-13 at 65 games, we win 53 games with RJ, or we only win 49 games with Paul George, or both of them are healthy. Either or are both healthy at the playoff time. Who would you rather be in the playoffs with 2 minutes left, and the signing game in the second round, and in the second round, the 7th game with 2 minutes left, and would you want RJ out there? Or would you want Paul George out there on the court with Brunson and Grimes, or Brunson and IQ with Mitchell Robinson and Randall? Just saying.
Yeah, real quick, let me throw this out there in the chat. Salute everybody in the chat, man. Y'all got to pop it in there. Everybody in the chat, salute everybody up in there, man. Real talk, make sure you hit that like button, man. Y'all got it going on up in there. But you know what? I just want to piggyback off of a Nick one day. The Knicks haven't been doing that, though. They used to do that. I just want to put out there, not saying you wrong, Nick one day, 2 day. They haven't been doing that in the last so many years. Not since Scott Perry's been here, but they haven't been chasing star. But what they doing, see, this is different than chasing a star, going to sign him to a max contract or you going to sign this guy to an extension. They getting him in the trade. It's not like you get this guy, this overhill guy, you're going to give him an extension in free agency. They're not spending their money, wasting it on Paul George. Paul George is not a free agent. We just traded for him. So I don't think that really is like with the old Knicks used to when they signed Stoudemire, they traded for Carmelo Anthony, they gave him an extension, obviously. But all the other guys, I don't think they're doing that. But I think Paul George 33 on this team is not that I'm advocating for it. I see why the Knicks front office want to do it. I'm not advocating for it. I see why they want to do it, because you cannot tell me if the Knicks don't do nothing. Let's say they don't do nothing, Shot Powers. And they just go get a power forward. You telling me that Evan Fournier and RJ Barrett going to take the Knicks further than Paul George? Just from a talent perspective, just literally, you could put Evan Fournier and RJ numbers together, and they're not better than Paul George. Not on the defense end of the basketball, not on the IQ side of the basketball, not on the being able to score at will. We need some. I'm not saying him. But if the Knicks want to go to the Eastern Conference Finals this year, they better get somebody who will not fold in the playoffs. It's the bottom line. You might not like the guy because he's injured, but playoff P would not fold in the playoffs. Why did we not beat Miami in the playoffs? Because some of our guys folded. IQ folded. Right. Randall was hurt, so we're gonna excuse that a little bit. Other than RJ, you know what I mean. But they need somebody right now who on Jalen Brunson level, and it'll be game over for the Knicks. And that's why I don't have a problem with this two-way guy for his money, because in 2 years from now, it's over. It's over. Paul George is a rental. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with having a rental. Ain't like I said, we give him $250 million for 5 years. No, he a rental. So you rent him for 2 years and see what he can do. And if it don't pan out, you can trade him at the deadline, or you could just whatever, get whatever you want for him in a couple of years. With his player option, you still could trade him, but I don't have a problem with him. I think the Knicks waiting for Embiid. I think that's what I really think is happening, Shot Powers. I think this is all about, let's see if James Harden want to go to LA. Because if James Harden go to LA, Clippers might not even move Paul George. Now they got him, Kawhi, and Paul George to take a run at the Lakers and the Denver Nuggets and all them guys, and New Orleans and all these guys. So they might not even trade Paul George if they get a James Harden. But like I said, if you trade James Harden, what does that do for Joel Embiid? So it's just like I said, I'm not the one to advocate for Paul George, but I damn sure don't have a problem. If the Knicks did, I wouldn't be mad at them. Right. I think Paul George is better than Evan Fournier and RJ together. I think that he helped the Knicks better than they will. So. What I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you right there, Devon. Like I said, my first choice for me was Levine, and then it's OG, and PG is my third choice. But if the Knicks were to move RJ Barrett and Evan Fournier for Paul George, bring them all. I'm gonna be at the first game like this. Yeah! I'll be screaming, just like everybody else gonna be screaming when Paul George get out on the Madison Square Garden hard top. And go out there, and the first game he played in Madison Square Garden, he scored 38 points and hit the game winner. It's over. I'm with running this team back. I think if we the biggest caveat to what we're saying is if was a whiff, you know what I mean? If we can get if was a fifth, if we could get Grimes to pop this year, if we get RJ to pop this year, no, we don't need Paul George. You know what I mean? If was a fifth, y'all know that old saying. And if those two guys pop, of course not. We don't need Paul George. I mean, and RJ is going to play the same role like Paul George. Are we going to get the beginning 20 games of RJ like we got the 5 games in the playoffs, that 5-6 game run where he was 56 from the less than 10 feet away, that 37% from 3-point land they was shooting, that 82% he was shooting free throws from. If we get that from RJ, then Paul George is an afterthought. But it was a fifth.
Yeah, hey, for real quick, like I said, man, I'm just trying to think out every scenario what the Knicks are thinking. When I'm trying to contemplate about what is the Knicks contemplate about? What is the Knicks thinking about this? That's why I'm trying to throw out all the scenarios to let y'all see probably what our organization is thinking, why they would do this or why they won't do it. Because you know what? At the end, by next year, Grimes gonna have to get extended. Quickly gonna have to get extended. You know, you already got Obi out of here. That's the only reason Obi Toppin is not a New York Knicks because they eventually who you gonna sign after 3? Quickly, Grimes, and Obi. What 3 of them guys? What 2 of them guys was you gonna keep on the Knicks roster? I always been saying it for the longest was Quickly and Grimes. I thought that when if the Knicks re-up any rookie contract, it's gonna be Emmanuel Quickly and Quentin Grimes. And so far, I think that's what it's gonna wind up being. That's why I'm confident out of here. So I don't know. I don't. You know, whatever the Knicks do, we're gonna be Knicks fans regardless. We're gonna root for this team. We're gonna support them no matter which way they go. Whether they get Paul George, whether they get whoever they keep what they got. I like the team that we have. I'm good with it. I'm good with RJ Barrett. I think RJ Barrett takes a step this year. So I'm not opposed to trade of RJ. Like I said, I think RJ wound up taking another step this year. I mean, he's that hard of a working type of player, Shaw Powell. Now he's just gonna have to show and prove from a statistic standpoint, like everybody talk about. But let's see what he do. RJ might come back and light up the NBA this year, or he might not. But it's not about RJ. This is really involved with Evan Fournier's contract and who we're gonna move to get off his contract. And the word was out there that they were willing to move that RJ and Grimes for Paul George. That was out there. So now they can't get Anunoby or who they're gonna move. So I think right now just sign somebody. I think RJ be fine, man. Hey, listen, I'm an RJ stan. You know no big deal to me. I think we roll with get a power forward. Let's get it popping. But we'll see how it goes, man. Hey, exactly. Hey, AP, I like that, and that's why I'm glad he put that out there because he's 100% right. Sometimes rentals can work. Kawhi Leonard for Toronto championship.
Thanks.
You don't pass up on talent. You know what I mean? And that's my whole thing. It's talent. You know, and we gotta hope our guys come back this year and Shaw Powell and elevate their game. RJ get better, quickly get better, Grimes get better. Let Deuce take a step. Let the DiVincenzo and Josh Hart do what they do. Let Harkenstein have a good year, and we banking on that. We're gonna have to. Well, that's the only choice we have. If we don't go out there and pick up no other player, but DiVincenzo, all the guys that was here the past season, they got to come back better to get to another level. You know what I mean? And I think they can. I think they can. We're not throwing them out of here. You know what I mean? But we had to see. But you know, like for me, you know, for the team perspective, I like DiVincenzo back there, gritty. I love him. I want to see him and Quickly and Josh Hart defend some of these cats out here, man. I think it's gonna be hard to get points against the Knicks this year. I think it's gonna be hard. These cats can really, really defend the basketball. So I'm kind of looking forward to that part of it. Shaw Powers, our wing stoppers, man. If you look at our team last year from a defense perspective, that's the reason why I call the Knicks wing stoppers, because I think that defense is gonna be special. But if you look at our numbers last year, and then we get ready to get up out of here. Opponents ranked against us last year. We had a number 2 defense for minute wise. Field goal percentage against us, we was 8th best in the league. 14th in field goal attempts against us. We pretty much midway of the pack at most. Field goal percentage, we were 3rd in the NBA in field goal percentage against us. The team would only shoot 46%. Here's what we struggled at last year. 3-point, 27th in made against us, 26th in the attempt. We had the lower echelon of the NBA when it came to people shooting the 3 at us. But the only good thing about it, the 3-point percentage was only 12%. So that's not that we was 12. I mean, we were 12th in the NBA in the top 15. Field goal attempts 17. We know we were 17th, 17th in made. I meant to say 17th in attempts, 18th in percentage. So you know we would pretty much have to have a little above the league and below the league and for defense for putting guys on the line, keep creating foul. Offensive rebound, we were 10th, 5th in defensive rebounding. Rebounding overall, we were 7th in the league. But 13th in assists. That's what's crazy. That we were only giving up 13 assists a game. That's pretty stellar. 2nd in steals. And 2nd in steals, blocked 14th. We turnovers. We wasn't creating enough of them. You see, we were 25th, lower echelon in the league. The personal foul, we was only fifth. We wasn't doing a lot of foul. So I say that when I bring up the wing stopper situation, now you add DiVincenzo to that mix with Grimes, Quickly, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo. You got some pretty good Rough Riders on defense there. They ball hawks. They hawk the ball. They got a lot of tenacity. Quickly came up huge the last couple of years. Got better at what he did from a defense standpoint. So I'm kind of really liking what he brings to the table. So overall, with DiVincenzo, like Steve Kerr say, he gritty. He a gritty dude. You know what I mean? So I like that, man. That's why I made this thing the wing stopper. Because I really think they're gonna wreak havoc on a lot of teams with that defense they got there. I know they might be short in stature, but they play good defense, them guys.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. PG is one of my guys that I did have, like per se the top three, aside from the superstars of the league, like the MBs and the Greek Freak and names like that. But PG was one of my guys, and I mean, could you imagine Paul George in the second unit with I Hard, J Hard, and I Hard, J Hard, and the Big Ragu? I mean, those five guys in the second unit. Talk about defense. Talking about grabbing rebounds. You talking about people cutting and slashing. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. He I Hard played with. Oh yeah, he played with Paul George. He played in didn't Hartenstein play in LA?
No, he didn't. Not that I'm aware of. I know it was New Orleans, Portland. Portland. I could pull it up out there. I know he definitely was New Orleans, Portland, and then he came to us. So he was with somebody. Oh, LA. He was with the Lakers.
Oh, he's with the Lakers. Oh, I thought he was with. Okay, I thought he was with the Clippers.
Handled them back in the days. Oh,
okay, all right, yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying, that's going to be the second unit. The same, almost as similar the way we played this season with the cohesiveness that we played with this year. I believe that RJ is going to be part of that second unit, like Tibbs played him last year. First 6 minutes he played, he sit him, and then he comes back in the second half, and he starts him in the second half with the second unit. And I believe PG 13 could probably do somewhat similar to what how they run that rotation. Mm-hmm. And like I said, Hartenstein, J Hard, Big Ragu, and Paul George. Who I'm missing, and IQ. That's nice. That's nice.
That's right. Yeah, if anything, it don't have. I think the Knicks will do Evan Fournier. Whether they got to move him shop out, but just let me answer. We talked about it earlier. AP. I do think that Jericho Sims. I'm gonna make sure I've got the right tweet out there. I think it was AP. Yeah. AP said, what are gonna do with Jericho Sims? He got a chance to play the backup power forward spot, ladies and gentlemen. Jericho Sims, he's a little raw, for the 50-something pick, but he showed some little attributes of what he could do, but he's raw though, because I seen times where he didn't get off his feet to block shot, but I like that he put the ball on the floor. He can do all them things, but he's not a shooter or nothing like that. I don't know. It's going to be between him and Roby, I guess, if they stay pat. If they stay pat and don't do nothing. If they don't do nothing, it's going to be between him and Isaiah Roby, I guess. That's really all I can see. But I'm good with either way the Knicks go. I think we're going to do something to make this team better. I do like this wing position we got going on from a defense perspective. And I think we had a pretty good defense last year going into the end of the year. Like I said, our defense was ranked pretty good last year, man. So we just had to hope that these cats come out with a hungry mindset, these young guys, to add on to what we have here. But I wouldn't be opposed to Knicks doing something for a year or two with anybody. It's not like we signed them for 4 years to $200 million, ladies and gentlemen. We sending out income, we bringing in income. So it ain't like we taking on my man's $46 million just by only no, we getting rid of some stuff. So I don't have a problem with that as opposed to somebody just outright free agency. I'm gonna give a hurt Paul George $250 million. No, yeah, that's obviously that'd be the dumbest thing you could do. but they not doing that. They trying to get rid of some salary. And I think if they feel like at the end of the day, in a couple of years, Paul George will be gone, so be it. The seasons go by fast, ladies and gentlemen. We have Paul George this year, right? And next year he'll be aspiring with a player option. But, so it ain't no big deal. You if it come down to it, let's let him bring it. Let's see what happens in Gotham. If he come here, let's see if he gonna make this team better. I think he does. But I don't want none of these guys to have to get traded. But if you do it, and the Knicks see something that us fans is not seeing, I kind of see what they're doing. They looking at, we got a couple of years on with a 3-year Jalen Brunson, a 3-year Julius Randle. Let's see what we could do within them 3 years. That's what they think. Yeah. That's all they think. That we got Mitchell Robinson left for 3 years. We got Randle left for 3 years. We got Brunson with a 3-year contract. Within that window of these 3 years, let's see if we can go out here and make it happen. And if not, we retool. We'll retool. And I think that's where they at. Whether we like it or not, that's where they at. And that's where they going. Think about it. If the Knicks was trying to keep going the other way, they would have drafted last year. They would have drafted this year. The Knicks did not draft last year. They did not draft this year. That's why Summer League don't got no rookies in there now. Draftees or whatever. Because that's not the way they going. Whether you like it or not going that way. So, we can get all that. Listen, we can kill all that noise. That was over last year when they got Jalen Brunson. When the Knicks got Jalen Brunson last year, didn't take an 11th pick, traded that for the other 3 picks. This year, they wasn't picking, they gave it away because that's not what they're trying to do. They are trying to win right now. And I think they're going to put all their chips in the basket right now without messing up the infrastructure, Shop Howard. They might not take a 5-year deal, but they can get somebody for a couple of years to take that chance. Look at what Miami did. Miami got to the Eastern Conference Finals with Jimmy Buckets and Bam Adebayo. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals with Jimmy Buckets and Bam Adebayo. So if you meant to tell me Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, and Brunson, or Julius Randle, Paul George, and Randle won't get the Knicks to where they got them cats to? And Miami just lost 2 of their key role players, and Jay Vincent and Stroud. They lost 2 big dudes, so if they don't get Dame.
And they might not get Dame.
So now you're talking about Milwaukee, the Knicks, Boston. So the Knicks are going to try to play in that. They're going to say, listen, we here at the table. You know what I mean? We at the dance. Let's dance. That's what they're about. I think they're going to dance, Shop Howard. And whether we like it or not, the Knicks is about the dance, because that's all it comes down to. And that's, like I said, that's the reason why they're looking at the move. That's why they want an Anunoby. That's why they want a Joel Embiid. That's why, man, they this close. They that close. And Knicks fans, 1973. You know what I mean? 73. We haven't been in a position like this here since the 90s, bro. Literally. We haven't been, other than when Melo and Jason Kidd and them guys and Mike Woodson and them got us close to it. But this team right here with one more ultimate player who can help Jalen Brunson on a regular basis, you better watch out for the Knicks, man. The Knicks can make some noise. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Noise. And I also see in the chat, man, I also seen the trade too with about this guy. Maybe the Knicks looked into him too, about Zion. And I'm on the fence about Zion a little bit too. He, I would love to see him here, but if he's going to carry out, I can say this, and I can say this with certainty. If we would have got Zion and he would have been playing the way he's been playing at the Pelicans in New Orleans on New York Knicks, you think we talk about a lot of the Knicks fans talk about Julius Randle back. Boy, oh boy. Come on, Knicks fan. Let's be real about this, man. We talk about Julius Randle, and he's been in 3 years that he's been with the Knicks. He's been in the playoffs 2 times. He's been an All MVP player 2 times out of the 3. Oh no, he's been in 4 years. Sorry, 2 times out of the 4 years he's been an All MVP, top 15 in the league, most valuable, most improved player. You know what I mean? And the way we talk about Julius Randle, could you imagine Zion here, the way he played in the Pelicans? Man, come on, man. Right. Man, oh man.
Right.
So I'm if Zion is with Zion, just like with Paul George, for me, it's in the same category. It's about health. It's about health. If you get Zion over here and you talking about Zion's going to give you 60, 68 games, yeah, and the playoffs, yeah, I think I might think about, putting Randall in a trade for him because he's going to be another all-star for a Knick in that same position that Julius Randle is going to be in. You know what I mean? But if he come over here and he had 23 games and we gave up on Julius Randle, our MVP, I don't know. And the 1 year that he really had an off year, aside from the Tasmanian Randle, that year, the next year after that, he had a stellar year. That's what got Obi out of here. That next year, that most improved player, MVP. The year that he had, that we talk about the most about Julius Randle is the thumbs down year. But remember, at the beginning of the year, that Julius Randle had a baby. He wasn't really in shape. He was probably more in tone with his wife, having that baby, having that kid right around the start of the season, right around that time. So, I hate to throw it in the windows and cliches for him to, to try to sway off him, because at one time I talked about Julius Randle being traded too. I mean, and it wasn't for his play, it's because of the fit. So,
here, and ladies and gentlemen, that's why I'm glad we have these conversations, because it's important that we always back it up with facts. Here goes Zion contract for the Nets. He got $197 million for 5 years. Paul George got 2 years. So after 23, 24, Paul George, but Zion got 40 million, 42 million. What I'm trying to say is he don't play the game that Paul George don't play. So would you rather eat up $197 million? Let's forget the skill set, because like somebody just said earlier when we were talking about Paul George, the best ability is availability, right?
Availability, yes.
If he's not available and he's sitting on the bench, a la Stoudemire, a la Antonio McDyess, whoever, even Melo, and that big deal had to take that year up because of his knee. Are we willing to say, as a Knicks organization, you would take Zion $197 million for the next 5 years to take Paul George for 2 years, and look at Zion's availability. Rookie is 24 games, 61 games, 19 games. So to me, I guess what I'm trying to say, it don't matter to me how talented these guys are. If they're not staying on the court, it don't make a difference. But if you had to take a gamble, are you going to would you rather gamble with 80 something million or 200 million? Would you rather lose? Yeah, would you rather lose $80 million in your lifetime, or you rather lose 200 million? And that's what it all boils down to with these guys. It's really about if they're going to be able to play. And I think, with great, I love Zion. I think he's a generational player because he's that Charles Barkley type of basketball player where he's short, but he rely on jumping a lot. His whole career going to be predicated on, can I get above the rim? That's Zion Williamson. And with a guy like that who always got to jump to get buckets, how long he going to last in the NBA? On a regular basis all season. And every time you go up, every time you shoot a shot, 9 out of 10, you off the floor, Shot Powers, unless he got a set shot, unless he had the free throw.
He ain't got no jump shot. He ain't got no 3-point shot either.
The majority of his time shooting,
driving to the basket.
And not only that, not only driving, off the floor.
Yes.
He always in the air. 90% of his shots is in the air. So what happens when he go up, go down? That's wear and tear. That's the only trepidation I have with Zion Williamson is because the way he played basketball, how long can he sustain that? When you got an Iron Man like Julius Randle who giving you damn near the same numbers and he stays healthy for the most part, except for last year. So, and I think remember when Zach LaVine started his career, couldn't stay healthy. Russell Westbrook had it. Everybody go through it. We there's not all these players, because it's the NBA, it's the rigor mortis, the grind and everything. They're gonna get hurt. They're gonna get hurt. But how long are you willing to do that? And because like you said something real important, ladies and gentlemen, Zion Williamson been the lead 3 years. If he would have got drafted by the Knicks, like Shaw Power said, and been injured like this here, you cats would have been talking about Dolan is the worst.
Come on, man.
They ain't worth nothing.
Come on, man.
That's what we would have been saying around here. Literally, we would have been saying that. Oh man, why they should.
Knicks did. Look what the Knicks did. They got this guy. He can't stay healthy. Can't keep him on Weight Watchers and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
you need to do this. You need to get the typo and do the typo and all this other stuff. We'd have been ripping. We've been ripping him a new one, man. I know because I know I'd have probably been saying the same thing. That's why I made that point about Zion. And if he was a Knick, if we'd have drafted him and he would have played as many games as he played as a Pelican with the New York Knicks, Knicks fans, really, let me look in the camera real good. Knicks fans, really? Really?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, and that's what we gotta do. That's just the thing that's why it's hard. All these players, man. Like I showed y'all the other day how many games Anunoby played. I showed y'all like how many games Anunoby played in the last so many years.
And he ain't been all that healthy either.
Yeah, I mean, we anybody we take a risk on, you best believe they're gonna have someone gonna have an injury track on them, and that's why I bring it up and just bring him up for a minute. Look at Anunoby's he started off in 2017, 74 games. Listen what happened when he got to 2020, 43 games, 48 games, 25 games. You understand what I'm saying, Shot Power? So it's like you can go on and on. Pick a player, I'll throw him up there. I guarantee you're going to take a risk with these guys. So that's why I understand why a lot of guys want to go young and keep the younger guys here because they don't want to take that risk. But just due to the fact of right now, where we at, that's why I understand what the Knicks going to do. We'll see. But I think Evan Fournier will get moved for sure. I think Jalen Martin makes the roster from Summer League. I think Roby will make it. Like I said, I think everybody thumbs down on Roby now because the man just coming off an injury and they're not really seeing. I want to catch them some decent opportunity to get to training camp. But other than that, for Summer League, Shot Power, them cats will all be in the G League and be training camp advice. Just to be for roster filled for the summer camp for the training camp. And that's about it. But good win for them last night. They finally got one. Jalen Martin with the buzzer beater, that was good. I like him. I like that young man. I like everything about him. So and I do believe in Roby, man. So I'm hoping that he can just continue to get his stamina back, get back on the grind, and get out there and play. Charlie Brown Jr., I like that cat. He's nice.
I like him.
Charlie Brown Jr. for Summer League. I think he had a really good summer game the other night. I like the center. Skep, as my man Nixon.
Yeah,
he had a good game. We got some good, like I said, ain't no drafted talent in there because we didn't draft nobody. So that's why it kind of seems like whatever. Ain't nobody in there we want to see coming out the draft. Ain't nobody in the draft. But I do think that Jalen Martin changed all that though. I literally watched that game, man. Cause I want to see what the Knicks what they're gonna bring to Westchester this year, and I want to see what anybody on that team got a chance to make it up here. And I do believe that. And other than that, Shot Power Fournier be moved. We know that. Eventually, whether he or the trade deadline, he will be moved. It could be any day, it could be any week, or it could be any month. But we know he's gonna be up out of here with that aspiring. Once the right thing come back.
I hope not, Keith Turner.
Yeah, I hope they keep him down here, Keith. I hope they keep him in the Knicks rock in the G League at least. But like you said, somebody probably will pick him up. Yeah, for sure. I do like him. I really like he got the energy to play, man. I like these guys, man. But a lot of them a little. Foster, he got a good offense game. Not so much defense. It's a pretty good guy down there. I was wondering why they didn't play my man Thompson out of Indiana. I thought he was pretty nice in college. So maybe they just did not play. We'll see how it goes. But other than that, Shop House, it's all good, man. Holler at me, man. Give me a last thought before we get out of here, so we can get ready to get on our grind, man. And all that good stuff.
Salute to you, Divine, as always, my brother. You know what I mean? You just doing what we need to do, man. Salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Thank you guys for coming in here. You know what I mean? Like I always say this, man. We are all on the same page. We just in different paragraphs. That's all it is. We different paragraphs. I mean, at the end of the book, we all on the same. We finished the book together, but we just on different paragraphs. The Knicks may not make a trade, another trade. They may run right now with this unit, waiting for next year, 24-25 season to come in and make some bigger trades where we have 4 first-round draft picks, plus our own, and now we have guys that played a whole year. Now their stocks are built back up. You know what I mean? And shoot for that superstar that everyone talks about. Or they may make another trade. Now the Levine thing looked like it's out. OG's kind of sounding like it's out. I don't think the Knicks are looking at Zion that hard. I don't know if they really want to take a chance on him that bad. And, if you're asking me, I think Paul George is the only one that's really dangling out there, only because of the CAA connection. So with that being said, I think they can finagle him and be like, listen, we'll give you an extension. Play these 2 years and we'll work something out. You ain't getting no $44 million or $55 million for the next some years, but we might can swing $26, $27 million for you, maybe. I don't know. I'm spitballing right now. But with that note, thank you guys for coming in here. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And once again, thank you for coming in. Salute to you, Divine.
Yeah, real talk. Just real quick on a quick footnote. I don't think the Pelicans are going to lose. Then Zion not even leaving New Orleans. Not with him and Ingram and all them cats there. They that close. I don't think he's going to move. I don't think all these guys we talk about all year long, believe it or not, none of them going nowhere. None of them. We could talk about Levine ain't going nowhere. Cat ain't going nowhere. Zion ain't going nowhere. And Anunoby ain't going nowhere. Because if they move Pascal Siakam, then the majority definitely not moving Anunoby.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
Especially if they move Siakam. I just think that these guys are going to stay with their respective teams. They're going to build around them. Not just think they were going to do. They're going to continue doing what they do because a couple of these teams were that close. They just was a player away. You still got Atlanta. That's our Atlanta side. Devontae Murray. A lot of these cats stay at home. They still stay home in their home base and try to win it there. So we have to see how this thing pan out. But I know the Knicks going to be in the fold with the Evan Fournier deal for sure. Sooner or later, like I said, month, day, a year. Day, week, a month. Evan Fournier might be out of here. Ron, my man, salute to you. Thank you for coming in. Still Knicks fan. Y'all already know what it is. Ron and John.
Already.
My people, salute to you guys. Ron, appreciate you getting in, fam. But listen, guys, next game we get into the recap. See what's happening with Summer League. I was happy with what I seen with Jalen Moore and his maturation so far. Charlie Ward disciple, that's a good thing, man. Knicks keep this thing family, man. They know where to go get it from. If he gonna play like Charlie Ward, then he gonna be okay in the Knicks uniform. I can tell you that right now. So I'm really happy with that. But listen, man, y'all enjoy it. Be safe out there. Make sure y'all hit that like button going out the door. We appreciate y'all coming in. Real talk, man, and we'll see y'all on the next episode 9, whenever it's time.
Let's get it. And yeah, I think so, Keith.
Yeah, real talk. Yep. But listen, everybody, y'all enjoy the night, man. Y'all be safe out there. Y'all know what it is, man. Tell a friend. This real talk. We in the building. Divine, my brother, Shaw. I'll holler at you.
You're ready.
All right, let's get it.
Peace.
Time for Divine Shot, KJ events. This real talk's the brand. You understand how we do, my man. I'm on that Friday night Nick shit, dripping in Nick shit. Up in the world, most famous arena with a clip. That's the conglomerate. Nick's real talk, the real prominent. I'm a bit like the Omicron variant, I'm dominant. Paying homage to the cat in the chat. That's where it's at. Cause I'm hearing that. You don't care for hyperbole, we straight facts. We interact with the mob, the gods. Up in the pod, the squad, the side. My entourage be on the job, my energy. 50 tripping in 10 books. As they cook my game plan, and my brand for loot and pursuit. Going hard like the New York City gritty committee. Cause that the Knicks we know is pretty, but we all stay giddy. But we embrace the fan base like the late Anthony Mace. We drink the logo when there's hair space that appear like square space. Staring down on the Chase Bridge, look at that Knicks City drip. There's 50 Dexters on the court, looking pretty legit. I say true to the orange and blue. I thought you knew for him a few bars to shine like Star Divine to Mount Mars. Knicks real talk. Here we go, let's go.
Knicks real talk right here. I'm representing
Knicks real talk.
right here.
Here we go, let's go.
We here in the building.
Knicks real talk.
Let's get it.
Here we go, let's go.
Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Knicks real talk.
We here.
Here we go, let's go.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, for real. Yes, sir.
Let's get it.